Hi there. Welcome to the final programme of That's English Module 11.
Hi there. Hey, Samantha, are you into motorbikes?
Oh, sure. There's nothing I like more than hitting the open road on two wheels.
Really? Well, you'll like today's documentary. It's all about the British motorcycle tradition.
What? Mods and rockers?
That's right. We'll hear about them, and we'll also hear from the British Motorcycle Federation and how they work to change the violent image of motorcyclists.
Let's watch.
Have you ever just wanted to hit the open road and drive for miles and miles? Could you do this on two wheels rather than four? Well, these days you don't have to be a rebel without a cause to travel across the country on two wheels. There are more than 1 million motorbike riders in Britain, and many of them are members of the British Motorcycle Federation, or BMF. The BMF's Graham Hay tells us why so many British people are in love with motorcycling.
When you're out on a motorcycle on the road, it's the sense of freedom, really. The freedom comes from being able to move about on the road, and also that sense that you're actually travelling through the countryside. When we travel in a car, we view the countryside through the screen, but on a bike, you're in it, you're part of it.
Motorcyclists like to meet up for group rides through the countryside.
Many of us in the UK enjoy touring, and you know the really key thing with the UK is that wherever you are, you're never more than 30 or 40 miles from some wonderful riding roads.
Britain's love of motorbikes began in the mid-19th century, when the first steam-powered penny farthing wobbled onto the lanes. By the early 20th century, petrol had replaced steam, and motorcycles were becoming a common sight on British roads. The first motorbike races began in the 20s, but it only became popular as a sport after the Second World War. As soldiers returned from war, they looked for adventure, travel, and camaraderie, but without guns and battle. And so the Motorcycle Touring Club was born. But soon after motorcycling grew in popularity, another darker counterculture was emerging. This was the era of Marlon Brando's The Wild Ones and the two-wheeled anarchy of the Hells Angels. Suddenly, the motorcycle was synonymous with gangs and violence. British streets became a battleground between two rival motorcycle groups, the mods and the rockers. Legitimate bikers banded together in the 60s to counteract the image of leather-jacketed hooligans. And so the British Motorcyclist Federation was born. Anna Z is a director of the BMF. She tells us how motorcyclists are viewed today.
I mean, the BMF was created because of the mods and rockers. There was such a bad image that there were the fights on Brighton Beach and all the rest of it. So the BMF wanted to try and improve motorcycling's image a bit. Nowadays, some of the stereotypes may be somewhat different, but they're still stereotypes. We had a leaflet which had a picture of a motorcyclist, and then you turned over and it had a picture of the same people wearing their working clothes. There was a nurse and a policeman to just show that motorcyclists are ordinary people.
London's Ace Cafe has been a meeting place for motorcyclists since 1960. Cafe owner Mark Willsmore gives us his impression of the bikers.
I find quite remarkable with this place and the spirit and its ethos, which clearly is about speed ultimately, and the thrill that can be found with speed. But it's the thrill of contemplation of it, the sight of it, the sound of it, the smell of it, the thought of it. And that's a universal appeal.
Today, enthusiasts from across the UK have travelled to the Ace for a bike rally. We ask what draws them to motorcycling.
A bit of liberation and just being different to being in the car.
Once you put that helmet on, you can be whoever you want to be. It just gives you a freedom that you just can't get from anything else.
So it's not just motorbikes that make riding such fun. It's also the feeling of travelling in groups, stopping off for a cuppa at a friendly tea room, and that well-deserved pint at the end of the day to swap tales of the road.
So motorcyclists are just ordinary people, not Hell's Angels.
Of course. I liked how Graham described the feeling you get on a motorcycle.
When you're out on a motorcycle on the road, it's the sense of freedom, really. The freedom comes from being able to move about on the road, and also that sense that you're actually travelling through the countryside. When we travel in a car, we view the countryside through the screen, but on a bike, you're in it, you're part of it.
It's the sense of freedom and the feeling that you're actually part of the countryside.
Perhaps I should get a motorbike.
I think you should. Now it's time to find out about travel in other countries. We asked our international friends, what areas in your country are often overlooked or ignored by foreign visitors?
I think the south coast of Jamaica is often overlooked by visitors. The north coast is often seen as a tourist destination with the Ocherius Falls and Dunn's River and so on. But the south coast has many hidden gems to offer.
Most people who go to New Zealand stay on the main islands, the North and South Islands. I'd love to see them go to the smaller outer islands because that's where we have the most beautiful native birds and spectacular rainforest.
I think the city of Glasgow is quite overlooked. I think most tourists go to Edinburgh because it's a lot more touristy and Scottish. But I think Glasgow has a lot to offer culturally and with the arts.
Foreign visitors tend not to visit South Australia and Western Australia. Here is the most interesting part of Australia. It's nature like you've never seen before.
I think the area that's rather overlooked is the countryside in the kind of Pennsylvania and Northern Virginia. Most people go to see the main things, Washington, D.C. and Philadelphia, but there's some pretty interesting things, and the battlefields of the American Civil War are also quite stunning to see.
When people come here, they tend to go to the big cities, and I think it's a real shame to not go to the countryside to see lots of the smaller towns, because it's often there that you see what real English life is like when it's not busy. It's very beautiful, and I would encourage anybody to go there.
So every country has places which the tourists don't tend to visit, such as the north coast of Jamaica, which, as one speaker said, has many hidden gems, joyas escondidas.
Or the battlefields of the American Civil War.
It's a good thing, as it means they don't become too touristy and get spoiled.
Yes. Now it's time to join Jodie in her final destination in Florida, Orlando.
That's certainly not a place overlooked by tourists.
Hello and welcome back to That's the USA. Today we're in the exciting city of Orlando, and this is International Drive, Orlando's main thoroughfare. At one time, this was a small town built around the citrus fruit industry. Today, Orlando is a major travel hub, welcoming more than 57 million tourists a year. That's a lot of people. So, what are they coming here for? They're coming to visit Orlando's famous theme parks and attractions, including Walt Disney World, Universal Studios, Wet n Wild, and many more. I'm here at Fun Spot America, an amusement park with a real fairground feel to it. There are a number of great rides here, but perhaps the most impressive is the Sky Coaster, the second tallest of its kind in the world. Look at how high that thing goes. Whoa! I'm here with Gabby, who just rode the Sky Coaster. Gabby, how was it?
It was amazing. Scary at first, but once you get into it, it's just not that bad. It's quite good.
It's quite a drop.
Yes, it is. 250 feet, I was told. So
wow, you're brave.
Thank you.
Now, where are you visiting from, and why are you here in Orlando?
I'm visiting from London. I'm here visiting family and famous theme parks in Orlando.
Have you visited any of the other theme parks yet?
This is my first one so far, but there's SeaWorld, there's Universal, so I'm looking forward to getting started.
Great. Well, thanks, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Just a a short drive from Orlando is Legoland, Florida. It's the largest Legoland theme park in the U.S. It sounds like a party inside. Let's go. It's a Lego-themed park with more than 50 rides, shows and attractions, restaurants, shopping, and the Legoland Water Park. This is a wonderful, colorful, creative place for the family. At the heart of every Legoland park is Miniland. Here you can take a walking tour of the whole country, all in one place. Miniland USA has a huge variety of amazing replicas of America's most celebrated cities and attractions. There's the White House. There's lots to see in busy New York City. Looks like they're getting ready for takeoff at the Kennedy Space Center. I'm here with Jason, who's a master model builder here at Legoland. Jason, what is a master model builder?
A master model builder is somebody who works for Legoland that builds and designs the Lego models you see behind you.
Oh, that must be such a fun job.
It is.
How many Legos are here in Miniland?
Here in Miniland, we have 32 million Lego bricks.
Wow. And what makes Legoland such a fun place to visit for families?
Because it allows adults and kids alike the opportunity to use their imagination in ways they never would have.
How long would it take to build something like this behind us?
Something like the Venetian would take about 2 or 3 months with about 6 people working on it. We usually build it in sections and then assemble it on site.
Wow. What is one of your favorite sculptures here in the park?
One of my favorite models would have to be the Earth model, which is down in our imagination zone. It has over 250,000 Lego bricks and is 6 feet in diameter.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Wow, this place is so much fun, so much to see and do. What an adventure we've had exploring the Sunshine State of Florida together. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I have. Bye for now.
57 million tourists a year visit Orlando. It's a major travel hub, a very popular tourist destination. So, is it your kind of place, Kieran?
What do you think? Legoland looked quite fun, though.
Yes, I love the replicas of all the US cities and buildings.
But I'd rather die than go on that ride at Fun Spot America.
The Sky Coaster? It looked brilliant.
No way would you ever get me on that.
As you can see, Kieran and I have different tastes.
Well, I'm afraid we've come to the end of our trip round Florida. And the end of Module 11.
We do hope you've enjoyed it.
Goodbye. See you in Module 12.
Bye-bye.